The topic that we're going to talk about today is the role of corporations in sport. That's come up several times during many of the other discussions that we've already had, and in some of the task forces there have been some positive comments and also some negative comments about corporations, and I'm hoping that today we can really dig into this topic and that all of you here who are participating can think up some really challenging questions that we can pose to the panel. First, let me just introduce our distinguished panel. And starting on my left here, we have Pierre Blayau. Pierre is the CEO of SNCF Geodis and chairman of Geodis, and the former chairman of Paris Saint-Germain, which is probably a very popular group for many of you. Sitting next to him is Michel, who's the former CEO of Vodafone Europe. Next to him is Daryl Jelinek, who is the general manager of Olympics and Paralympic Games for the Coca-Cola company. Past him is Bernard Mariette, the former CEO of Quicksilver, company I think many of you know and may be wearing right now, and currently the president and CEO of Coalition. And finally, at the end is Amy Millslagle. She's the marketing vice president for Olympic operations from the Dow Chemical Corporation. Bernard, let me ask you a question. You were CEO of Quicksilver. You grew the company from a relatively small one to a gigantic global brand. Now you're with a company that's a little different from most of the other companies represented here. Your company is all about yoga. Yoga is obviously not a traditional sport. Some people may not consider it a sport. I'd love to hear, how do you approach your impact on sport through the work that you do in your company?
First of all, it's very humbling to be next to giants like Coca-Cola, Dow, or Geodis, or Vodafone. But it's also very refreshing to be in front of everybody, which is all about sport. And we've been speaking about sport in the last 2 days, most of the time about the Olympics, most of the time about athletics, about football. My life has been spent around sport, which are more lifestyle, which is not about being, competing against each other, but it's more about enjoying life and being outside in the nature. And I believe yoga is a strong sport, and I guarantee if you try it, I mean, it's difficult.
I do fall over quite a bit when I try to stand on one leg.
But I see, so when we grew Quicksilver from around 20 million to 2.5 billion, the role of Quicksilver and my role was to make sure that we promote, we enhance the sport, we try to be inclusive as much as we can, to have all the support from the athlete. It's not really athlete, they are athlete, but not as the athlete we see like with you don't measure their performance. So my job was all about make sure that everybody understands the culture, make sure everybody understands the lifestyle. And then surely after a little while, you have big company who want to be associated with these values about the lifestyle, which with Quicksilver it was touching the teenagers. And a company like Red Bull went very strong with us, and Red Bull went very, very big and helped us to promote the lifestyle, which at the same time sell our clothes. And I believe our role as a small company with all these big companies is to make sure that we nurture and we keep our sports and our lifestyle and our well-being lifestyle pretty pure. And we need the help. We need the help of Coca-Cola, of Dow, to leverage. If we want to promote truly a pure lifestyle, we need them to help us to leverage this lifestyle and to go to a larger audience. And I believe this is what they're doing.
So in essence, your current company is supporting something that's healthy for people and is positive for people, and at the same time, you can only make a profit if you create some value for people in terms of health in their lives.
But I really believe that if you truly believe what you're doing, I'm speaking about my little world, sport, and lifestyle and well-being. Sooner or later, people will be associated to you, and it will be like a snowball, especially with internet and everything now. It goes way faster than before. And the value we promote, which is well-being, which is be happy in the present, all these values, they will be interesting to other company like yogurt company, like many other company. And my role is to make sure that we understand each other. Like, again, it's not only a check to promote an event. It's not only being able to go on TV or whatever. It's truly a partnership from the athlete to a company like us, or Nike is a typical example, and then the other big company.
Okay, great. Well, one of the things that's come up in several of the groups that I've been in so far at this excellent conference is the difference between sponsorship of sports and partnership with sports. And I'm wondering if any of you would like to comment on that and to help us to understand, where do you think corporations should be on that spectrum, and where is your corporation primarily in that spectrum?
I believe that the big companies are great sponsors, and without them, many things will not be achieved. However, until now, and not all of them, of course, but until now, when time is tough, usually what you cut is sponsoring. And I've seen it in many, many companies, like cutting sponsoring, which I understand times are tough, but it just creates like such a pressure on the sport, on the event, on the athlete, that it jeopardizes the whole system. And I really believe like going from sponsorship to commitment. If a company, like Coca-Cola has done it for forever, commit to a sport, to an event, then it's a really long-term benefit, and it grows the whole thing. Yeah. If not, it's very dangerous.
Okay, thank you.